All right, everyone. We decided to do a little something out of the norm this time. I wanted to stop in and give you guys a quick little movie review since we didn't get to it on episode 5. We were going to review the movie Wolfe Cop because we're going to tie it in with the comic also called Wolfe Cop. Overall, this was a pretty interesting movie. What do you think about the movie?
The first time watching it, I thought it was ridiculous. The second time watching
Yes.
it, I thought it was even more ridiculous.
That's an accurate description. That's exactly how I was. The first time I watched it, I kind of sort of knew what I was getting into going into it. I had no idea exactly what I was getting into. I was pretty surprised by a lot of stuff in this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't.
Um,
When you mentioned it, I'm glad you didn't tell me how ridiculous it was. I kind of went in with a blind eye.
yeah, I mean, in a way, I kind of did. I knew it was kind of ridiculous. Of course, the premise is pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I knew that it seemed like they were trying to go for maybe a 80s horror, almost kind of action comedy type movie, which
Yeah.
is, I think they kind of accomplished that.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Made me think of some of those 80 horror comedy movies.
With a little
So
bit
I
of
mean, I was
action.
pretty surprised too the first time, and then the second time, even when I knew stuff was coming, I was still like, man, I can't believe, I can't believe this is happening.
It happened.
But the movie follows Lou, who is a alcoholic, small town. Would you call him a deputy? Is he a deputy? I mean, I know he's a cop, but
yeah, he's just a deputy.
yeah, small town. He's a deputy.
Yeah, small city.
Seems like it seems like he's pretty much been coasting through life. Have no idea. Well, do have an idea why he became a cop. Found out about his dad later on being a cop. So that seems like that kind of inspired him a little bit. But Lou would rather drink all day, sleep with women all night, and then come into work whenever he wants to, and not actually have to do any kind of cop work. And then he receives a call about the call was originally about some missing pets. What was the guy's name at the gun store?
Willie?
Willie. That's what it was. Willie. He gets a call from Willie, who owns what they never really say exactly, but it looks like it's just a local gun store. And it's about a news report about missing pets that are coming up missing. And he thinks that teenagers are actually taking the pets and taking them out to the woods and doing satanic sacrifices with the pets. He eventually gets a call that there may be an incident in progress. He gets sent out there, middle of the night. He gets knocked out. When he wakes up, he has no idea what's going on. Turns out he was actually turned into a werewolf. And he doesn't find this out until maybe about halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
Which is pretty hilarious because the first time he transforms, he kind of blacks out and doesn't really remember what happens. And he wakes up in Willie's bed, handcuffed to the bed frame, trying to figure out what happened.
With the dog in the bed.
Yeah.
And the pink handcuffs.
the pink furry handcuffs. His face is priceless because his mind instantly goes there like, wait a second, these are some pretty furry handcuffs. I'm tied up in his bed. And Willie immediately goes like, sorry about your butt or something like that. He says like, how's your rear end or something.
Something like that, yeah.
But he finds out that he actually blacked out and it looks like he killed a bunch of gang members at the local bar. And this kind of sends him on a journey of trying to figure out what happened to him. Why is he a werewolf? Does he actually lose consciousness when he turns into a werewolf, or does he remain the same person? I'm not sure. Are we going to get into spoilers in this or not? Like, I mean,
we should mention. Yeah, we will be spoiling this.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of what I just said seems like it would be a spoiler, but I mean, it's actually not a spoiler going into this movie.
Yeah, true.
What turns out that he finds out that traditionally, apparently, werewolves are made by sacrificing an innocent life, and the blood of the innocent life will give a person the ability to become a werewolf. And normally in ancient times, apparently this was done to the town full. And what we see during the beginning of the movie, he pretty much is the town drunk and the town full. I mean, nobody really takes this guy seriously. Um, and it turns out that this is done for the sole purpose of an ancient race of shapeshifters. What they do is when there's an eclipse, they sacrifice the werewolf and they drink their blood. Or they didn't really say they drank their blood. They just say that they sacrifice them for their blood, and they use their blood to actually be able to live for decades. So this is kind of like their way of retaining eternal life.
Yeah, it was very they live, like the whole reptilian thing.
Yeah, because they turn out to be reptilian shapeshifters. And later on, he ends up finding. Well, first of all, after he finds out this backstory of the werewolf and the shapeshifters, he has Willie lock him up in a jail cell. And then once he's locked up in the jail cell, he transforms, and immediately, first thing out his lips when he transforms is wants to drink. First thing, he downs like some wild turkey or something like that.
It was like some Kentucky whiskey.
Yeah, he like a fifth. He just downed it, just chugged it straight down, and then immediately wants some donuts. But then they receive a phone call after a couple hours, and it turns out that there's this local gang that's been committing robberies, and he hears this, and for whatever reason, now he decides to be a cop, suits up, goes and takes out these robbers, modifies his car, and then he goes to take out the local gang that's actually producing drugs in the town or the city, which is an amazing scene.
Yes.
And then he goes back to the police station where he's greeted by the local barkeep. It's the woman
Jessica.
that owns the local Jessica. Yes, Jessica, who owns the local bar Watering Hole. And previously they were trying to get together, and he transformed into a werewolf, and that kind of went south. So she actually sees him as a wolf, and she seems pretty attractive. And they have a very interesting moment in that jail cell. And afterwards, after they've done the deed, she drugs him, and he finds out that it's not actually who he thinks it is. She transforms into the mayor of the town, who's been the mayor for who knows how long at this point.
Yeah.
But she's pretty old and kind of, decrepit a little bit.
Wrinkled.
Yeah, a little wrinkly. Definitely not who he was expecting to wake up next to the next morning. But turns out, if you haven't figured it out, she's one of the shapeshifters. And then he is captured, and it turns out that his buddy Willie is actually working with the shapeshifters. And it's about time for that eclipse, so they're taking him out to the middle of the woods where they conduct the sacrifice. And when he gets there, he finds out that not only is Willie helping him, Willie is indeed one of the shapeshifters, along with his boss, the police chief, who is also a shapeshifter. And they've actually been running this town and doing this for the last, I think he said 200 years.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was a long time.
Something like that. And while all this is going on, what is her name, the other officer?
Tina, I think.
Tina, there you go. Man, you on top of it with these names today.
Yeah, it's a good thing I watched it again before we recorded.
Yeah. I'm just terrible with names sometimes. But Tina actually reviews the surveillance footage at the police station, sees the whole Wolfe Cop and him being captured. And, well, yeah, they did say where they were going. I was about to say, they never really explained how she knew exactly where they were going.
Oh, yeah, because it was, I think when she was in the Wolfmobile, they had mentioned that, that was the day that the hunt was supposed to happen.
Yeah, we're going to get to that hunt.
Oh, yeah.
We will get to that hunt. But she actually shows up in time to kill Willie. And then this gives Lou the opportunity to transform into a werewolf, break his chains. That fight with her and Mayor / Jessica was a pretty interesting fight. They had a moment because she has an issue with Jessica because Jessica took over the bar that her dad used to own. So she gets her payback there. That's her moment to shine, kind of.
Yeah.
And then we get on to the police chief, who seemed almost unkillable because the other two died from gunshot wounds. and this guy is stabbed, and pretty much nothing happens to him. He's like almost like the Terminator shapeshifter. Um, but they do eventually dispatch him and kill him, and then they pretty much ride off into the sunset after that, or the sunrise as it would be.
Yeah, just like how the comic ended.
Yeah, and then that is pretty much the end of Wolfe Cop. Not necessarily, but it pretty much is, and I'm gonna wait on that because that's part of something that we're discussing a little bit.
Yes.
But overall, I think that's a pretty accurate description of Wolfe Cop.
Yeah, you hit everything. It was a pretty short movie. It was only like an hour and 20 minutes, I think.
It was less than an hour and 20 minutes. It was an hour and 18 minutes with the credits.
Okay, yeah.
Which means the overall movie's probably like an hour and 16 minutes, maybe
yeah,
hour and 15.
Not including the credits.
Yeah, it's a short movie.
Yeah. They got straight to the point, and then even at the end they teased like Wolfe Cop 2 was coming.
Yeah.
So, and that's I know it's we were talking about this the other day that it premiered at a festival in Canada somewhere. So it's in the works to be released. I'm not sure if we'll see it in theaters.
We're probably not gonna see it in theaters.
Yeah, probably like DVD or more than likely.
It'll be like it'll be like the first one. It'll go straight to DVD, probably more than likely.
Yeah.
But then it'll go straight to DVD because I don't see them releasing a sequel to something like that without releasing the actual movie itself.
Yeah, because I don't think this one was released in theaters.
I doubt it. I'm guessing if we were to check, this is probably one of those ones where it was probably released in like some of those independent theaters to just show independent movies. Like here in Columbus, we have Gateway.
Yeah.
And the Gateway Film Center would show something like this. This is something that would have showed at Gateway.
Yeah, they'd have it for like a weekend or something.
Yeah. And then it probably would have been successful and they would have extended it for another weekend. Seems like everything that goes to Gateway, similar to this, that has a kind of name to it already, always gets extended. Like it'll go there for a week, a weekend, and then the turnout is so good that they're like, well, you know what? Got it for another week.
Yeah, let's show it again.
Yeah. But how do you think this compared to the comic, to Wolfe Cop #1?
Some similar, some not so similar.
Yeah.
One of the similar things being like, well, he's a alcoholic when he's a human, and then even when he's a werewolf, he's still an alcoholic, and he still has a sense of everything that's going on around him in the comic as well, and the movie. The whole Willie thing kind of threw me off because I read the comic first, and then I watched the movie, and so when Willie died at the end, I was like, so how does he come back in the comic? So
see, I did this. I did the opposite. I read the comic first, then I watched the movie. I watched the movie first, then I read the comics. When I first opened the comics, saw Willie, I was like, why is Willie there? When is this taking? Is this like a road trip they took in between? The movie seems like it only took place over a couple days.
Yeah, maybe a week if that.
I thought some of the humor from the movie was definitely still in the comic.
Yeah, Willie.
And part of that was
Willie. Willie was portrayed well in the comic and compared to the movie. Yeah. Pretty similarly. But
I thought Lou was too, because Lou really didn't talk that much.
No.
I mean, he didn't talk that much in the movie.
No, yeah, especially when he became Wolfe Cop. Because I think really at the beginning, he might have
talked more as Wolfe Cop. I think he talked more as Wolfe Cop than he did as when he just Lou.
More than likely, yeah, because he really only talked much during the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then
even then, it was mostly when he interacted with Jessica when he actually like had the most dialogue.
True, when he was getting drunk.
Yeah, and trying to get lucky. So yep. I mean, that was really probably the most dialogue he had as Lou.
And then with the gang members who robbed the bank, they were dressed as pigs.
The piggies. They were called the piggies, weren't they?
Yep. And in the comics, they portrayed the gang as pigs as well. Well, actual pigs, like real life pigs.
Yeah. I think that the comic actually, even though it wasn't like in a direct adaptation of the movie itself, like normally these are the comics of based off of movie properties are normally direct adaptations, especially if it's something that's new. Because I mean, this movie is pretty new, and the comic is obviously extremely new. I'm kind of surprised that they were able to get a comic for this soon. But normally those are pretty direct adaptations, basically a rundown synopsis of what happened in the movie before they get to anything original. But for it to be something that that was original, essentially, I think they still managed to hit all the notes of the characters. Like you said, Willie still felt like it was Willie from the movie. Like I could hear that actor saying that dialogue.
Yeah.
In the comic.
I would agree.
Given the way the movie ended, the villain seemed like it was something that would have popped up in the movie, like given the reveal of the shapeshifters in the movie, and then in the comic. Well, then again, in the comic, he was basically some kind of shapeshifter. He was a shapeshifting pig.
Yeah, true. Yeah, because he turned into the the hog, the huge hog.
Yeah, he was a giant warthog.
And they kept the Wolfe Cop mobile.
Yes.
In the comic as well. That was awesome.
Yes. Which is one of the things that threw me off when I first opened the first page of the comic was I saw the car driving up in the distance, and I saw the light because I turned that light to the middle of the car, and I was like, "Is that the Wolfe Cop mobile? How do we have it already?" Like I said, I'm expecting that adaptation from the movie, and then they're driving. I'm like, "Oh yeah, he already has the car." Wait a second, Willie's sitting right there. What's going on here? They're talking about driving across country. What in the world's happening?
Yeah, so it seems like they pretty much just took the premise and then kind of made a new story for the comics, which I'm fine with. Because I actually like the comic a lot more than the movie, personally. And then the whole the 1001 thing, once I watched the movie, explained what that meant in the comics. So that was helpful.
And that was one of the weird things about the movie, because normally when you watch a werewolf movie, most people know it's a full moon. The werewolf sees the full moon, or it can sense that it's a full moon outside and transforms.
Yeah.
And Wolfe Cop is not just the full moon. It is the full moon. It happens on the full moon, but he transforms at 10:01. Don't know. They really never really explained the significance of why it's 10:01. But the second time watching it, obviously the first time you don't know who Jessica is, but even then she's looking at the clock and she's like, "Oh, we closed down. You guys got 10 minutes," and then she's looking at the clock while he's in the bathroom, and then even before you didn't know Willie had anything to do with it, and Willie's allowing them to have that personal time. He's like, "Okay, I'll be back in exactly a minute and 45 seconds, and you gotta be gone."
Yeah, and I like when he was starting to film. He was trying to film his transformation, and then Tina walks in. She's like, "What are you guys filming?" But then it's funny how they didn't really have any concern about locking the door or making sure she was gone, because she could have just walked in.
She just
at any moment.
assumed she left.
Yeah,
she could have did what Willie did and just hit around the corner.
Yep, true.
He's like, "What are you guys doing? Filming a movie? It's a science movie." Well, I think that's a pretty good comparison. I mean, it's one issue of a comic, so it's kind of hard to really compare it completely to the movie. I think if this had been a comic that was out it was on issue 4 or 5, maybe even 6, then it'd be easier to compare a lot more things to it. Mm-hmm. But even then, I think that like I said, I think they hit the proper notes. So far, they've hit the proper notes.
Yeah. I'm glad Willie is back, because he was probably my favorite part of the movie, besides Wolfe Cop.
Yeah, Willie was... He was that comic relief character that is technically an annoying person, but somehow was played like you're glad he's there. Normally I wouldn't have liked a character like that in the movie, because Willie's always talking. Always. Everything's always a joke. Everything he says, I don't think he says anything in that movie that's dead serious. Even when he's saying something serious, there's a joke wrapped around it.
Yep.
but yet and still, like, I'm not sure who the actor is, but the way he was played and portrayed in the movie, like, you actually felt bad at the end when you found out that,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, you feel bad.
I kind of felt cheated, not cheated,
Willie.
But I was kind of pissed at Willie. I was like, "You motherfucker!"
But the thing is, even Willie seemed upset. Like, it seemed like even he didn't expect to, like, really bond with Lou like that, or really start, liking him, because Willie's job was essentially to just watch over the sacrifices. Like, that was his job in the group, was like, this is the sacrifice. Your job is to watch over them for 2 or 3 days, and then we all sacrifice them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm guessing that's because the history that him and Lou had before the movie started. Because when he first goes out to Lou's, he's told, like, "Oh, we got a call." And he's like, "Who's it from?" "Oh, your boyfriend."
Yeah.
So it's already like they have some kind of
and he lives above already. He lives above his gun shop in the movie.
So. Yeah, that was very well done. It was good to see him back in the comic. It does raise questions after seeing the movie, and especially knowing that there's a second one coming out, it raises even more questions. Like, so are they hinting at the fact that they're going to actually bring Willie back somehow? I mean, we saw him die in the movie. He died and burned. So, like, how are they going to pull that off?
Yeah, because I even saw a poster, like a kind of like a preview image. It shows Tina, Lou, or Wolfe Cop, and Willie all like standing in line, like with weapons. I'm interested to see how they change the continuity, like how they go about morphing that into the storyline. So I'm intrigued. I'm glad it's getting a sequel, because with it being like a straight to DVD movie, because I saw that the budget was $1 million. I tried to do some research to see how much they actually made, but I couldn't find exact numbers. But it's cool that
this seems about right.
Yeah, it's cool that it warrants a sequel.
Yeah, I know some people are like, it was $1 million, a lot of money. It's not really a lot of money when it comes to making a movie. Like, nowadays that's low budget for a movie.
Yes, it is.
Which Wolfe Cop was, even though they had some, they knew where to spend the money.
Yeah, and
that's what I'll say about Wolfe Cop, but they knew exactly where the money was going.
Yeah, the aerial shots, like that alone, like that costs money. I imagine to rent a helicopter.
With the aerial shots, and it was comprised of, I'm pretty sure, probably 100% practical effects.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there was I didn't see anything that looked like it was CG in that movie. Everything was like somebody built that, somebody did that effect on camera, which is something you don't really see nowadays, which I like practical effects. I like a lot of that, those 80s horror movies, because of the practical effects that they used in there, and it was like amazing.
Gives it more of a raw, like real feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the only CGI I may have seen was when the barn exploded, but I think that might have been a combination of both. That might have been a combination of both.
That sounds about right. Like, some movies will, if they're going to use CG, they'll use it like that. There's a couple of foreign action movies I watch where they tout that they don't use CG, and what they mean is they don't use CG for the actors, but they use CG to add like maybe some extra dust or something like that. Just to kind of polish the movie up.
Yeah.
But they don't do like CG characters normally, or CG objects. But I can see that with the barn explosion. That was a big explosion.
Yes, it was. Yeah, even I like the transformation being practical too, because it made it even more.
Oh, that was one of the main things. Yeah.
And sickening.
It made me think of the first Howling movie.
Which movie?
I know The Howling.
I don't think I ever saw that.
It's another werewolf movie. It's another werewolf movie from the 80s, and they used a lot of practical effects. They had a pretty good practical effect transformation in there. Another one that had a great one for the longest was American Werewolf in London.
I didn't see the original. I've seen the remake.
Oh, you saw what was American Werewolf in Paris?
Okay.
Because it wasn't necessarily a remake; it was kind of a sequel.
Okay, gotcha.
If you get a chance to see the original, they have a transformation scene where it's all done right in front of the camera, and they do it with like bright lights and stuff on, so it's not like they don't darken it, so they can do little tricks here and there, and it's amazing. It's one of the best werewolf transformations ever. With that being said, I enjoyed the transformation in Werewolf Cop.
Same here.
It was way different. I've never even considered that a werewolf transformation could be something like that, and it was almost like something out of a comic in a way, because it was almost like a metaphor in a way, because it was kind of like the beast is being unleashed from within him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were a lot
of the beast is just. What I was gonna say is like the monster is just beneath the surface.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, we should also mention that this is also on Netflix, everyone. So if you do have Netflix, this is now available on Netflix.
Yeah, you just told me that earlier, and I was like, really? It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
Well,
I forgot to tell you that
picking up steam.
Yeah, they added it over the Halloween weekend, because I remember seeing them tweet about it. I was like, oh, sweet.
It's picking up steam.
Yeah, especially with the comic too. That's good that they're getting this sort of like press and growing more of a cult following. Because I know like critically people like bashed it, but at the same time,
of course,
it's
a low budget movie.
It's a low budget movie. Like you gotta take it with a grain of salt, and for what it is, I think it's a well put together movie.
Yeah, I know in the comic there's you can tell that it's picking up steam, because in the comic they talk about how they're expanding the universe. They tell you to come back, see the next issue, and see how they're expanding this universe.
Yeah.
So they know that they've got something. They've got that little cult following going on with this, and it's big enough for them to continue to do stuff with it and make this a bigger universe in itself. So I'm willing to bet in the sequel, we're going to see even crazier type of monsters or supernatural things.
Yeah, one thing, going back to the comparison of the comic and the movie, in the comic at the beginning, Willie's like saying how like they're on the run. So, and that was never really explained, obviously, because Willie dies in the movie. So I'm wondering if him coming back will have anything to do, if they're going to put that in the second movie. That's a big question.
I have no idea.
What are they on the run from? What did they do?
Well, it says that in the comic, it said that Lou was on the run for murder. But they don't say who. They don't say, I mean, he does murder some people in the movie.
A lot of people.
But they never necessarily say who. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it was probably the incident in the bathroom when he first transformed, because that's the only thing I can think of where he left some serious evidence behind.
Yes, he did. And when we get to our list, that's one of my things.
Oh, it's one of my one of mine too.
Well, it's really cool too. With the comic, I probably mentioned this in our Columbus Comics Corner podcast. That the director Lowell Dean was the story editor in the comic as well. So
I didn't.
Yeah, so he had a little hand in it too, that. Which is sweet.
Well, it's always good to see the creators when they have a part in the other aspects or other medias that these kind of things take. So it's good to see a director who, I'm not sure if he wrote it also or co-wrote it, but it's good to see someone who had their hand in the original, who knows the material, have their hand in the comic.
Especially since he has an idea of probably where the next movie's going.
Yeah. So he can sprinkle a little stuff here. Maybe this is hints at what's going to happen in the second movie.
True. Yeah, like
maybe the comic is going to be the prequel to the next movie. Maybe through the next few issues, we're going to get flashbacks that'll explain why they're on the run, what happened after the first movie, and then lead right into the second movie. That would be pretty amazing.
I think we're going to keep covering this comic every month when it comes out, because we both love this book.
Yeah, I would love to. Like this is really interesting. Crazy premise, but they make it work.
Yes, they do.
I think we've gushed over this movie a little bit. think we should go ahead and run down our top 10 list that we made after viewing this the second time, because it was a little hard to make a top 10 the first time.
Yeah, same here.
you definitely had to see the movie, get it out of your system, and then just go through it a second time.
Get the penis scene out of the system.
All right. Well, would you like to go ahead and start this off?
Yeah, I'll do. Top 10? Yeah, we can do like I'll do my 10, and then you can do your 10, and we'll kind of bounce off each other from there.
All right, that'll work.
So starting with my 10, I enjoyed the look of Wolfe Cop. I thought they did a great job with the makeup and all that. You could even see like the facial expressions with Lou whenever he would like smile or talk or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was well done.
Well, that's for me, I'm that's it.
Oh no, I mean not my whole 10, but
okay,
that's my number 10. Sorry.
All right, my number 10 is going to be the transformations. I absolutely love the practical effect with the transformation each time he transformed. The first one was a little crazy.
Yes, it was.
Like you said, with the exploding penis, that was crazy. I think probably for me the best one was the one in the jail cell.
Yeah,
where you actually saw him like tear the skin, and you saw the wolf come from underneath it. For
those who don't understand, that was like the actual first reveal.
Yeah, that was the first official reveal of the wolf. Yeah. But yeah, in this movie, if you're wondering, every time he transforms, instead of like the hair growing out his arms and his body kind of morphing, the wolf literally tears the skin off, and he's essentially wearing Lou like a coat or a shirt. Yeah. He tears that off Hulk Hogan style, and he's instantly the Wolfe Cop.
That was very Hulk Hogan when he ripped the chest open.
Oh yeah. I was waiting for brother.
Yeah.
So that is my number 10.
All right, my number 9 is when he's in the library and he's doing his his research, and then he just like stands up out of nowhere. He's like, what did he say? He's like, "Do you have any books on devil worshipping?" And like the kid and the older ladies like in line. I thought that was great because that just came out of nowhere.
My number 9 is going to be the idea that this town has an annual drink shooting. Drink shoot, which essentially is a bunch of the townspeople get drunk, they get the rifles, they go out in the woods, and they hunt the mythological beast of the town. Just that premise alone. They even say it in the movie, like, do we really want a bunch of drunk rednecks with guns?
Yeah, not a good idea. I don't want to be nowhere near that.
No, that was just when I first heard that, I was like, "Are you serious?" And it's called the drink shoot. The drink shoot.
Yeah, I tried to figure out like because I looked to see because it's based in Woodhaven, mm-hmm. And I tried to see like if it was like Woodhaven in Canada or here because they had like Kentucky liquor, so I'm not sure if this was based in the States or not. That was one of my questions I had. I couldn't find any answer to.
It could have been one of those things where maybe they filmed in Canada, mm-hmm. so they used the Woodhaven name just as like a Easter egg, but it was supposed to have been the Americas.
Yeah, true.
So, especially like you said, they're drinking Kentucky liquor through almost the whole entire movie. And even the town looks like a rural southern town.
Yeah, it does. Cool. Is that done for your number 9?
Yeah, that's my number 9.
All right. My number 8 is when they're in the bathroom after Lou's first transformation and he killed all those people, and Tina's holding his like shedded skin face and like making a little joke. I'm glad it was cool to see her little because I think she didn't really have too many comedic moments.
Mm-mm.
So that was good
I think that was it.
Yeah, maybe that and the when she's in the bar talking to Jessica.
Oh yeah.
And she like takes that shot awkwardly.
Yeah. that was one of my scenes. I kind of lumped that in there with the effects because of the. I mean, it wasn't an effect with the face. That was hilarious. She was like, what she say? She said, "Look at me, I'm Lou. I don't want to come to work. I want to come later." Something like that. And he just looked at her like, "Really, really?" But my number 9 is going to be my number 8. Right, 8. Right. I'm sorry. My number 8 is going to be the beginning part of the movie when they show how he's the worst small town cop ever. Not only does he get up late for work, he's got some random lady laying in the bed with him. He's drinking. Before he gets in the car, he throws up. He's driving through the town, and he sees like the graffiti, the people spraying the graffiti on the walls. And just drives by, doesn't say anything to him.
He gives no fucks.
He sees these people who are committing crimes, whether obviously a lot of them are smaller crimes, but still, he doesn't care. Then you get to the police station and you see that someone's tagged the police station with pigs. They spray painted pigs on the front of the police station. He's just the worst cop ever. He's supposed to be out trying to solve the case, and he goes to the bar drinking. So like that was one of my things I loved, was just like, this is the worst cop ever.
Nice. Yeah, kind of following that for my number 7. I put that Luke can drink. He can throw him back. Like, he drinks a lot. Like, and surprisingly, I think he only pukes once, and that's at the beginning of the movie. I'm surprised he didn't puke after having sex with Mayor. I forget her name. Mayor Bradley.
Well, he was Wolfe Cop. He had a stronger stomach.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's why he could drink so much, is because he was a wolf.
Yeah, possibly. Because he was drinking beforehand, but once he became Wolfe Cop, he was drinking.
And that's my number 7.
All right. Well, it's funny because my number 7 is the fact that they had something called liquor donuts.
That's my.
And I was just.
That's my number 1.
It's the liquor donuts.
Yeah.
I was wondering the whole entire time, like, is this just a name, or are these actual donuts that they made with liquor? I mean, considering the setting of the movie and the townspeople, I could believe these being actual donuts that have like liquor filling, or
even like the
liquor in the
convenience
batter.
Store was called Liquor Donuts.
Yeah, yeah. And there was like a commercial for it on the radio. That's what got me at first. Was I heard the commercial at the beginning, and I was like, wait, so they say Liquor Donuts? And then they kept showing them through the movie, and I'm like, Liquor Donuts.
It's a quick way to get drunk.
Yeah.
Very fitting for a cop too.
Exactly.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, my number 6 is when they bust into the barn, the meth bust, and he's like starting to fight him. And my favorite part was when he ripped the dude's face off, and then he runs. You see him later when he runs across Lou, or not Lou. He runs up against the car window where Willie's sitting. And freaks him out. I thought that was great.
That was funny because that was actually my number 6 also.
Oh, nice.
he ripped someone's face off, and it's like ridiculous how he rips off when the dude starts screaming.
Yeah, that was the best part.
And then you think he's done for. Like, his face is ripped off. He's fighting everyone else, and then Willie's sitting there like, you ripped the guy's face off, and the face is like on the windshield and stuff.
Yeah, he throws it on the windshield.
Then he just pops up beside the car and starts screaming again.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
It was like everything else that happened in that fight scene was awesome, but he ripped a guy's face off. That was ridiculous. That was the moment for me. I didn't care what happened in the rest of that fight scene. The dude's face got ripped off.
Yeah, no, I agree. When the second time I watched it, I tried to watch when he like chopped the guy's head off. But I think it might have been like too dark for me to tell. Like, it might have been shot too dark.
I don't know if he smacked his head off or if like he literally chopped it off. But yeah, he knocked someone's head off.
Yeah, but it was hard.
And he ripped someone's arm off.
Yeah, he did that too. Yeah, he went crazy in the barn. That was great. And then the whole fire.
But for me, the face. For me, it was the face.
Yeah, the face for sure. And then the guy running out. It's gonna blow.
Boom.
Nice. So what's your number 5 then?
Oh, my number 5 is actually the Wolfe Cop mobile.
Oh, okay, that's my number 3.
I like that thing. The little montage of him putting it together and spray painting it, and he's tearing the doors off, and he's like carving the hood up, and it's like, what is he doing to this thing? He's souping the engine up, and then he pulls out, and you just like, what did he do to that thing? Because it pulled out like super fast.
Yeah,
like he put like some nitro in it or something.
Yeah, that's right. He did. Yep. Now that I think about it.
And then the alcoholic sees him. The homeless drunk dude sees him. Was like, Lou, and he's like, Bob. And then he looks at him and he sees he's a wolf, and he looks at the alcohol like, man, maybe I need to stop drinking.
Right. Yeah, that was great.
And then later in the movie, you start seeing a little bit more of the car, like during the daytime, when she's on the way to try to save Lou. And you see where he actually carved the W into the hood, like he didn't just scratch it onto the hood. He carved it into the hood, and I was like, "That's some pretty good detail."
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, and then that's when we got a glimpse at the Wolfe Cop symbol, that scratched W.
Yeah, that was dope. Nice. So yeah, that was my number 3. My number 5 was. It was funny how like the town didn't seem to really care that there was a werewolf cop.
No,
like the convenience store owner, like they didn't really they were more scared about the gangsters than the wolf cop.
It was like what he looked like. He was a big wolf. That was it. Like that was the most reaction anybody had in the movie about him being Wolfe Cop.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was good.
That was what number was that?
That was my 5.
Your 5? All right. Well, my next one is the fact that he gets stronger the more he drinks.
Yes. Yep.
And you don't really necessarily know that until Willie
last scene.
Yeah, at the end when Willie's like, you might want to be careful with him. I don't know why he's so much stronger than all the other ones we've done before. And he's like, maybe it's the alcohol. Maybe it's all the drinking. And then sure enough, he gets shot at the end, and he's weak and everything, and he finds Willie's little bottle he had, takes a sip, and then he's like super Wolfe Cop again.
Very Popeye.
Yeah, it's like that's his spinach. Alcohol is Wolfe Cop spinach, which is hilarious.
Nice. Is that your 4 or 5?
That was actually my 3 because we had a couple that were the same.
Okay. So then, that works. So then my number 4 was like the whole like fairy tale motifs that they threw in there. Like you had like the pig, the big bad wolf, and Red Riding Hood, which was Jessica.
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat.
It was funny because I got the first 2 the first time I saw it. And then the second time I watched the movies when I saw the Red Riding Hood, and I was like, oh, she's got the basket. She had the little bonnet around her head and everything. And I was like, she's supposed to be like Red Riding Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then there was a whole bunch of little wolf puns and stuff in the movie too.
Yes, there were, yeah. Yeah, I think the second time I watched it, I put all 3 together because I got the wolf and the Red Riding Hood the first time through. And then like I thought of the pigs too. I was like, okay, yep. So that was good.
Yeah, I did not get that the first time. Well, since we knocked off so many of mine because we had so many of the same, my number 2 is the crime fighting montage, and that's after the convenience store, because he does the convenience store, and then they drive they're on the way to the barn. Mm-hmm. Before he goes there, he has to stop in the taggers that they're spray painting the building.
Oh yeah,
the same spot. Like they're in the same spot. They've been in the same spot all day, just spray painting over what they already did. And he stops, and he starts peeing on them. And the one's like, "It's in my eyes. It burns. It burns."
He just stood there and took it too.
And it's funny because he's peeing on the one on the right, and it's kind of getting on the guy on the left. But the dude on the left is dying. Like, he's laughing at that guy over there like, that's funny. I don't care that some of this is getting on me. It's hilarious. And Wolfe Cop obviously finds it funny too. Like he's sitting like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, Lou even said something like, Lou said some corny line like,
"Oh man, I think you've been eating too much asparagus."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, Lou."
Or Willie, excuse me.
Willie, yeah. Lou. Man. Yeah, Willie. Classic Willie.
That's funny. Yeah, so we knocked off my number 3, which is the Wolfmobile. My number 2 was the reveal of Willie, Jessica / Mayor Bradley and Chief all being involved.
Yeah.
Like I did not see that coming at all. Like, and I thought they played that well. The second time I watched it, when they were in the barn and Willie pulled out a cell phone, I was like, okay, I wonder who he's talking to. And then so it all made sense at that point. But I thought that was great because they hid that pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, that was a good reveal because once Lou is captured, you obviously knew it was the mayor because she transforms right there. She's like, okay, she's a shapeshifter. That makes a little bit of sense. Mm-hmm. And then you immediately get hit with Willie, but you don't think Willie is. You just think Willie might be a servant or something. You don't know that he's actually one of them. But the reveal of all 3 of them was very well done. The second time around, knowing you start picking up little things like when he's headed to the barn, the leader of that gang is like sniffing that red powder, and they made a reference earlier like, well, how do they take the blood? Do they turn it into powder, or do they drink it straight, or what do they do? And then he's got the police scanner, and as soon as they're calling the police chief, he gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
And there's certain little things before that reveal that
I didn't
if you're watching it a second or a third time, you start picking up like, oh, okay, yeah, they did kind of hint at that. And the same thing when Willie's on the cell phone. He's on the cell phone. You're like, well, who's he talking to? Mm-hmm. And then something immediately happens. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and the next scene, he's having sex with Jessica, and then she turns into Mayor Bradley, and Willie walks in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm surprised you didn't get sick from having sex with you.
He's like, you had one job. Shut up. Well, that brings us to my number 1. And my number 1 is the fact that there is a sequel. That might not seem like, something to take out of the movie, except at the end of the movie, they say Wolfe Cop will return in Wolfe Cop 2. Mm-hmm. So technically, that is part of the movie.
Yeah. And who knows if, like, they... Actually, now that I think about it, I read an interview with Lowell Dean, because he had mentioned how the studio wanted to put that at the end, Wolfe Cop 2, and it made him nervous and also excited, because he didn't know... Like if they would actually get a Wolfe Cop 2. So that was interesting little trivia.
I didn't know that. I thought it was. I was thinking it was probably more of like a Back to the Future, because in the first Back to the Future they had that scene where you think the movie's over, and then Doc Brown shows up and he's like, "We gotta go," and then it says "To be continued." And that was put in that movie as a joke because they used to grow up on the old serials used to play in the movies, and they would always have like a cliffhanger ending to make you think that there could possibly be more to the story. Mm-hmm. It just so happened that Back to the Future did extremely well when they got greenlit for 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought that was. I thought that was just them putting it in there because it just seemed like it's a funny joke.
Yeah, same here.
Because when I saw that, I immediately hopped online and started looking to see if there was a Wolfe Cop 2 sequel. Like, it immediately got me. Like, I liked the first one. I need to see if this is a joke or this is for real. And I saw it's for real, and I was like, oh, yeah, well, this is a highlight for me in this movie.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's another one.
That'd be really cool. Hopefully, we should try and get Lowell Dean or the writer of Wolfe Cop on our podcast when we do like a Wolfe Cop episode or Wolfe Cop comic number 2. That'd be really cool. Like dedicated.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see if we can pull some strings.
Ask some questions about 2.
Yeah.
Can I see it first?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, but my number 1 was the we already mentioned but you had mentioned, I think it was your 5 or 6, but the liquor donuts.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my number 1. I just thought that was great.
That was just ridiculous. The reveal of that was ridiculous when they first mentioned them. because he's listening to the radio program, and they're talking about the drink and shoot. And then they immediately start talking about liquor donuts. Like immediately. It's like, yeah, this weekend is the drink and shoot. Don't forget to get your liquor donuts. And it's like, what is heck? What?
I think liquor donuts might run that town because they are everywhere in that movie.
Yeah, maybe that's going to be 2. Maybe 2, we find out that there's an even bigger group that was overseeing the shapeshifters, and it's whoever owns liquor donuts.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, that is our list. Yeah, I'm excited for Wolfe Cop too. Like I said, I didn't love the movie, but I do want to see where they take it from here. And especially after reading the comic, like I think it deserves a sequel just because of how ridiculous it is, and they can. I think they have a few more stories in them. I think for a movie premise.
Yeah, I can see this probably being a trilogy. I can see this being a low budget trilogy. Like I can see them getting a good 3. I mean, then but then again, they could go the route of like Sharknado, where Sharknado seemed like maybe they might get 3 out of it. They're about to do like 5.
Yeah, Sharknado what, like 5 or 7 now? It's crazy.
They're getting ready to do 5. I think they greenlit 5 and 6, but I know they're definitely doing a 5.
I've never seen any of those movies yet.
Yeah, 5. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
They have a following.
They do. The funniest thing is I went to see it. I think I went to see 1 and 2 in the theaters when Riff Tracks did it.
Okay.
And that was hilarious because I grew up with Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
Like I used to watch that show. And I liked it, and when it went off the air, I was kind of sad. And then I found out years later, like, well, a bunch of them went off and formed Riff Tracks, and they do new movies now as opposed to doing public domain movies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and sometimes these studios are throwing movies for them to do. They've done like Captain America. They've done most of the Star Wars. They've done Indiana Jones. They've done Sharknado. They've redone some of the movies they did on Mystery Science Theater. Like, yeah, if you get a chance, if anybody gets a chance to, they hold about, I want to say 4 events a year. And normally, like, a local theater, like an AMC or something, will have it. They're do it for like 2 days. There'll be one live event where they're broadcasted around the country live, and then the following week they just have a repeat of it. But it's pretty funny. They did the 97 Godzilla movie, and I'm a Godzilla fan. I didn't like the 97 movie, but I like it with Riff Tracks.
Or is that the one with...
They made that movie enjoyable.
Who's the star of that movie? Matthew Broderick? Is that the one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it was.
I saw that in theaters when I was younger.
I did too, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm excited for Godzilla versus Kong, though, whenever they get to that. That's going to be dope.
Me too. Especially because this is the thing. A lot of the movie companies now want to set up these expanded universes.
Oh yeah.
And they got to do the next Kong movie first before they can get to that Godzilla versus dope. Kong. That Skull Island. That looks pretty. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. That's gonna be their expanded universe, so they can have those 2 in the movie. And then like Universal was supposed to be doing the Universal Monster, which I'm trying to see how they're gonna do that, because they're talking about doing the Universal Monsters and then leading it up to like an Avengers type team assemble movie, where the monsters are going to assemble on some kind of team or something at the end, which is going to be weird.
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical about that. I like the idea of rebooting the Monsters universe, but yeah, turning them into like Avengers type team, going against other things. I think we might have talked about this either on air or off air at one point, but I think because I mentioned Tom Cruise was playing, he's going to be in there, and who's the other guy? I want to say Russell Crowe.
In the Universal Monster movie?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Movies?
Yeah, movies.
I think Johnny Depp's in one of them too.
That wouldn't surprise me. Maybe I'm thinking of Gerard Butler.
I think they're talking about having Johnny Depp. I think it was The Invisible Man. I think that's what I want to say. The Invisible Man.
Yeah, we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah, could be interesting.
Yeah. But back to Wolfe Cop.
Yeah, just love how we just like jumped off of Wolfe Cop.
It's same genre though.
Yeah.
But yeah, was there anything else?
No, I think we actually hit all the key things that I liked about the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of your top 10 was most of my top 10. So it's funny that those are some of the things that kind of really stick out in the movie.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to the sequel. Looking forward to seeing where they go with this in the comics. Overall, I'm looking forward. Like you said, it wasn't one of my favorite movies, but it's a good movie. Very well put together.
Yes, it is.
Ridiculous premise, but they make it work. That's the big thing. If you have a ridiculous premise, if you can make it work, you've done a good movie. And they did. So I mean, overall, no, I don't think I have anything else to add to Wolfe Cop.
Nice. Cool. Thanks, everyone. This is our Wolfe Cop movie review. We hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you do own Netflix, it is now on Netflix, so you can watch it there. And then come back and listen to this again and over and over and over. And come back Sunday night, where usually we have our new episode of our Columbus Comics Corner podcast, where we discuss our new comic book day releases that we picked. And that usually comes out around 10 p.m. or so Eastern time on Sunday night. If not, when you wake up Monday morning, it'll be on our Podbean site.
It'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, we'll be waiting. Make sure you download it, play it, tell your friends about it. You can find us on Twitter at Columbus Comics Corner under that. Podbean, same as well, Columbus Comics Corner. If you want to email us, columbuscomicscorner@gmail.com. We should be on iTunes shortly. Going to start to get that under wraps and put that together here soon. But anything else you got to say to the people?
No, just make sure you come back for the Comics Corner. This week's going to be a very interesting week. Can't wait to discuss some more comics. And, I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future we can do some more of these movie reviews,
Oh, yeah, we definitely plan on it. I think we definitely will, because this won't take us long, because we're only at an hour right now, so.
Yeah.
Our usual podcast is only sometimes 2 to 3 hours, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, these movie reviews will be fun. We'll have to discuss what we do next off air. I had some ideas, but there's just so many movies that I'm sure that we want to do. We'll have a long list of things we want to talk about, but we'll get around to them. Well, cool, everyone. We will see you next time. And again, check back Sunday for our Columbus Comics Corner podcast for the new comic book week of November 2nd. So new comic book day was yesterday. So if you haven't got your books if you listen to the latest episode, at the end we tell you what we're going to be discussing this week, and I'll put it on our Twitter as well and Blogspot. So, but yeah, we will see you next time.